Lucas had always lived an uneventful life. He worked a regular 9-to-5 job, commuted on the same bus route every day, and rarely took risks. That all changed on an unusually brisk fall morning when he found a curious piece of paper fluttering against his apartment door. Win $20 million, it read in bold lettering. But only if you overcome your deepest fear. Attached was an address and a time, 5 p.m. that very day. Lucas felt his curiosity piqued and gathered all the courage he had to follow the instructions. After all, how bad could it be to face his fears for $20 million? At 4:55 p.m., Lucas stood before an old building that looked on the verge of collapse. Taking a deep breath, he entered. The air was heavy with a musty smell, and the dim light made the space look eerier than it probably was. In the center of what appeared to be a grand, albeit dust-coated, hall was a small podium with a large, ancient-looking box on it. A note lay beside the box. "Open it." Lucas hesitated, but remembered the promise of riches. He lifted the lid slowly and looked inside. What he saw made his heart pound in terror. It was filled with small, wriggling spiders, his greatest fear. He had an intense arachnophobia that had gripped him since childhood. Thoughts of quitting rushed through his mind, but the image of a life forever changed by $20 million brought him back. He needed to confront his anxiety to win. On shaky legs, Lucas approached the box. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead as he reached his hand into the dark mass of moving creatures. He felt their tiny legs scurry across his skin. He fought vomit, panic, tears, everything. Lucas closed his eyes, trying to summon bravery, but the reality was overwhelming. His entire body shook violently, and before he could lift anything from the box, everything faded to black. He awoke hours later in a sterile, white hospital room. His head ached, and his hands trembled incessantly. As he puzzled over how he got there, a nurse approached his bed. "You were found unconscious," she said softly. "It looks like you fainted." Lucas wanted to ask about the money, the contest, everything, but all he could do was muster a weak nod. As he lay in the hospital bed, he realized that some fears were colossal, not meant to be surmounted by mere promises of wealth.